Salute to everybody watching the video tonight, y'all. We are here with a special guest, somebody y'all been wanting to hear from for a couple of days now. The mother, they call her Mama Snoop, the beautiful Mama Snoop. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay. We got now. It's a lot going on right now. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot online. You've been seeing a lot. We gonna get into that. We gonna get into all that. You know, the murder change me movement, the documentary that we hearing a lot about, the Charleston White, involvement as far as the project was, concerned at one point in time. We're getting all that. But first, I want to start by saying this June 20th coming up is gonna be 10 years since the loss and the murder of your son, Lil Snupe. What's going on with you 9.5 years later?
Well, I can definitely say I'm in a better space than last year.
Yeah.
It don't seem that long to me. It don't seem like it's been 9 years. So the pain is still fresh. But like I said, because I understand the purpose and behind and what he was doing and the reason why God created this whole situation,
yeah,
it just gives me comfort and motivation that I have to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's been 9 years. It just don't seem like it's.
So you feel like it's been shorter or longer?
It just seems like it happened yesterday.
Happening for real. It's like, so this feels fresh still.
Man, still fresh. Like as if, and then some days it's like a mental thing that he may be on the road and he's not even deceived. That feeling of excitement again, and then reality will hit like, oh no, he's not.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. That's deep. That's deep. So you saying basically it's different. It depends on the day. It depends on just every day is different.
It's second to second, definitely, with a journey like this.
No, most definitely. Rest in peace to Lil Snoop. Meek Mill artist, man. Meek Mill, one of the biggest artists ever out of Philly, signed your son. I want to talk about how much of a like I said, how his story is such a hip hop story. Like I said, when you sit down and do your research on Lil Snoop and you find out how he got in the game,
right,
that's amazing. That's no different from, like I said, an Eminem story that's a real hip hop story. Turns out that from what I'm hearing, Lil Snoop got a chance to pass off a demo to Meek Mill. After getting a pass from one of his friends getting into the show, he passed off a demo to Meek Mill. Meek Mill then goes and posts some of the lyrics and retweet Lil Snoop, and Snoop finds out about it. Tell me from right there. Tell me pick up from right there. Lil Snoop find out about Meek Mill reposting them. Meek Mill done pop that demo in. What did Snoop tell you?
Well, all that day he had been trying to get to Grambling. He had a plan.
Yeah.
He knew he wanted to. Meek was going to be at Grambling's home.
Yeah. Okay.
Concert. So Snoop was, he was adamant about getting there, and he got there. So that was actually one of my good friends who was a police officer that was able to get Snoop in the concert. But the thing that she really done that's important is Snoop wasn't able to get his demo inside the concert, but he was able to control traffic, which allowed Snoop to go to the window and knock and hand over his CD that way. But, knowing Snoop and knowing how he is, even though I know he was excited to his mama when I called, because I was excited because I knew that's what he had been on all day, he was like, yeah, I seen it. And I'm like, boy, this is what you was wanting. So, but he was just kind of like, yeah, I seen it. But you could tell the atmosphere is a lot of people in the background. So, so it was just that moment. But that kid was just, he kind of was so confident knowing, I guess God, God has showed him exactly what he's going to do. So Snoop was confident during the whole journey that he knew what he had to do.
So you mean to tell me Snoop then after he finds out, tell me, so when does he take this legendary 36-hour bus ride, uninvited? Meek Mill don't know he on the way.
That's right.
When I know you found out about this later on after his passing, you finally found out about these stories. How did you feel to find out that this little nigga done jumped like he took that type of
Yeah. It was crazy because like I said, when it was December the 17th is when he took the bus ride on Grambling. Yeah. He's in Grambling, on the Greyhound.
Yeah.
And he had been telling me, that Meek was sending for him, so that's just what I.
Yeah.
So the day of the funeral, okay, keep in mind, I sit in the Sprinter, I'm talking to Meek, and I'm just thanking him for what he done and sending for Snoop. And Meek was like, oh, I didn't send for Snoop. So, Meek talking inside the funeral.
Yeah.
You know, I'm walking out of this funeral, I'm floating as it is, but my baby is laying here in this casket in front of me, and all I can think of is, boy, you don't lie. Like, if I could just get your ass up right now, just to like, you really like lied. And then the thing about it, when his plan worked, he never came back and said, well, mama, you know, I wasn't honest. He just
Yeah.
let me think that's how it went, and he
It's
left
just,
it.
hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this though. That's what hip hop is about. You know what I mean? That's what it used to be about back in the day. You know,
Mhm.
nowadays you see with the with the internet, with everything that's going on. You know, young cats just jump online. Back then, you had to get in front of somebody. You had to pass that music off. You had to, you know what I mean? So now that's most definitely a legendary story for him to jump on a bus 36 hours. You know, to go to Meek. Meek don't know he coming, and Meek still, you know what I mean? He able to, because then we later on seen the crazy, the freestyle battle. The freestyle battle. I think it's who is it? It's an NFL player. I think it's Deshaun. Who was it?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. There we go. Deshaun Jackson got his artist. Meek Mill got Snoop. And then, hey, that's when I seen him. That's when I first ever laid eyes. I'm like, man, who this little cat is? He burnt that young nigga up so bad across that table. I mean, how did you feel seeing that? Seeing, man, my son, he doing it. It's coming true.
To be honest with you, I think I was excited because of the atmosphere, the people that was actually in the room that's able to see his talent, but knowing that's just what he do on a normal. That's why he was so comfortable in the
Yeah,
building. That was his regular. So I'm just watching my child be himself, right?
yeah,
But it is exciting to say that everything that you told me you were going to do is happening for you. So
yeah.
that's the exciting part about it.
Tell me this. I want to talk about this. Mo 3. It took, I didn't learn about him and Mo 3 knowing each other and having a friendship earlier in life until after, they both, was gone. Tell me,
Right.
what did you learn about him and Mo 3's relationship, the friendship?
Well, I met Mo3 once at an event. I was speaking on a panel for a Stop the Violence event, and Mo3 was a guest
Yeah,
there, and we spoke
he's gone.
together.
There we go. There we go. You
Can you hear
back.
me?
You back. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you back.
Yeah, so he told me that him and Snoop went to school together. And Snoop would come to his house. When we lived in Dallas, I would work, so Snoop would be doing whatever he wanted to do while I'm at work, and he would be at Mo3 house, is what Mo3 shared with me. He didn't really go into detail as far as that, but I know that they were around each other in North Dallas, around Whitehurst area,
Yeah.
up in that area, kind of, hung out. And ain't no telling what they did at that time, but they definitely hung out as kids.
So tell me this. So, you learned from Mo 3 himself. You learned from Mo 3 that me and Snoop was cool. How did it feel when you heard the news about Mo 3 too being murdered?
It's like, anytime that I hear of a child dying,
Yeah.
my first thought is, wow, this mother is gonna have to deal with so much.
Yeah.
um Anytime. So hearing that he lost his life, my first thought was, his mom. I had never met her at the time, and my heart just went out to her because I remember my day one, and
Yeah.
then to be a mother of an artist where we have to share our child with the public. And I don't think people really pay attention to that we don't get a chance to mourn our babies to ourselves because of the limelight and them being in a public figure. We have to share them with the world. So that comes with all of the, things that, like, why I'm here today. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I don't think no one really takes the time to see, not only is this a rapper, but this is also somebody's child that's lost their life.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. This is real life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I say, and I want to say this. I talked to Nicole. Nicole called me just a few days ago. Nicole is just like you. You know what I mean? To her, she deals with this in real life. You know what I mean? She don't really. The internet is cool, whatever. You know what I mean? She sees things, but at the end of the day, hey, she don't see it. You know what I mean? So yeah, my condolences go out to both of y'all. Tuka mama as well, SBG Duck mom as well. A lot of different moms I've seen that was working with y'all on this project. But I want to say this too. A lot of rappers we see, like I said, they died due to a lot of gang violence. We see robberies. We see beef within hip hop or gangs. Lil Snoop didn't die that way. Lil Snoop's story is different. Lil Snoop was when he was murdered, he was with friends from what we know.
Supposed to be friend, and
So
then not only did he kill him, he was at the funeral with me. So I had to, the murderer is right here next to me on the front row at the service. because I'm
Okay.
not actually the murderer at the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty deep. It wasn't one of those beefing and it was an altercation. I can't really say the details of what happened that night,
Uh
but
huh.
I do know that my son was around people who he thought he could be around and be safe. And I also feel that if he would have had a gun that night, he wouldn't be dead.
Okay. So you feel like if he would have had some protection himself, he could have saved himself.
Yes.
Tell me this: no arrests were ever made in the actual murder. A lot of people don't know. I want to say no arrest stuck. In the murder of Lil Snoop, we seen that Tony Holden, the older gentleman, that he was locked up, and then we seen Lil E. That's gonna be wasn't it Edric Stewart? That's gonna be him. We seen that they both was locked up at a period of time, but it turns out that Tony went to jail just for the firearm charge, as well as he was out on bond, I believe, for a case. And it turns out that Lil E was charged with manslaughter, was it?
No, he was just charged with illegal use of a weapon.
Okay, so they never charged Lil E. Edric Stewart with murder at all.
No, originally it's because the chief of police was a dirty cop.
Mm.
He was in cahoots with Tony, and so when it first happened, everybody I thought Tony Holden killed Snoop. That's what we got, and because of that, there were some things that were neglected in his case, which caused not enough evidence to support a murder. You really have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, right? And so even with manslaughter, what they done is they closed Snoop's case, and I just stayed on them till they finally put it back on the docket, having me thinking that we're finna go with a manslaughter charge. Well, that wasn't the case, and he still only got the charge that he's charged with only carries 2 years, and so they maxed him out. They gave him 2 years, but no one's still been charged with the life of losing my son, and that's kind of crazy. But that's another thing. That was another trigger for me. Okay, my son gets killed, and then nobody's held responsible.
Yeah. Tell me this. I want to say this. You say Little E was at the funeral with you. That's Edric Stewart. That's the one who you feel like he is the one. It wasn't. You feel like it wasn't Tony Holden.
Autopsy done. It was definitely his bullet. It's not a question of did you do it. It's why did you do it? And see, he's been able to get away with lying and having people feel like he didn't do it for so long. So that's why I feel like he's being here because he just lies and say he didn't do it, but he definitely killed my son. And he robbed him, and he brought out like his phone later on, and then he brought out the watch later on. And he was telling people giving him the watch, so he's definitely guilty. But ironically, I don't think about him. I've gotten to a place in life where his name, I don't even speak his name, and we are today. But I don't even think about that kid. God has given me so much peace that I don't even know that he exists in this world.
Yeah. No, most definitely not. Most definitely. I want to move on. Let's talk about so after that, and before we get around to to what's going on now, at one point in time we seen where Snoop's father had came home from prison, 21 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this as a father and as a man, that was embarrassing even for me to watch. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was embarrassing. You know what I mean? So he did 21 years in prison. It's clear that he was never in Snoop's life. We heard Snoop rap about his father not being in his life. Well, he came home saying that he had a deal lined up with Meek Mill that he was finna get signed. You know what I mean? He was on. He looking for his deal. We seen him bash you and Meek Mill after so long, saying y'all wasn't carrying Snoop's legacy the right way, and y'all wasn't doing this and that. What did you tell him as a father, as a black man? What did you tell him?
Honestly, I responded to one of his videos, but directly to tell him something I couldn't, because when you a mental patient, you can't get nothing across. They're not going to in on the level that they need to. So I would have been wasting my time trying to talk to him when I knew, for one, him coming home wasn't the first time that I knew he didn't give a darn about our kid. It was, so I didn't expect much. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really expect much from him. I think it was heartbreaking that you embarrassed his name for that little length of time or whatever, because I don't care what you say about me, but think about his son legacy, who I've been out here doing this footwork for his legacy. So you should have really been saluting me for just standing in the gap, even when I was broken, right? And he should just been on a different level. He was just childish, and hey, it is what it is. It didn't get him nowhere, of course.
Yeah. I ain't heard nothing.
Yeah,
we ain't heard nothing. Nothing.
Not one thing.
Nigga ain't heard nothing from him. I want to say this, as far as when Snoop passed away, you spoke with Meek Mill. Meek Mill came to the service. when Snoop passed away, do you feel like Meek Mill, he did what he's supposed to do, far as him and Snoop's relationship in their business? Do you feel like did you ever feel like Meek Mill should have done more or anything like that?
On my personal level, I had times where I thought that he could have, but then I had to get myself and understand, like, Meek, to me, and what I comprehend from that, like, he done his part. You see what I'm saying? As far as he told Snoop he was going to change his life. Snoop has a verse where he says, "Shout out to Meek Mill. He really changed my life." So I'm not disturbed. Like, me and Meek are good. We don't have, we're not beefed out, but you got to think about it. Meek has a family himself, and when this happened, he was just getting in the game, so he was learning things as he went. And Snoop was sharing with me, like, Mama Snoop. Snoop would tell me, like, Mama, Meek is learning, and as he learned, he's teaching me. Yeah. So, like I said, in the beginning, I would have thought things would have went differently, but at the end of the day, he took a loss as well. I don't feel like he didn't hurt behind losing Snoop. So everybody was hurt and in shock. You right? So it ain't time to point the fingers on who should have did what. Like, anytime I've been around him, I've been treated like a queen. Yeah. I don't have no ill will to say about him. I think it's more so of people just wanting to do more, but how do they know what I wanted to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, my life just changed drastically overnight. I wasn't caring nothing about Meek or anyone else when it came down to that type of thing. I'm trying to figure out what just happened. Yeah. My son is, what am I supposed to do without my child? How do I supposed to go on without my child? So my focus was not on the industry or Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we are good. And I just think that people try to do too much and add on to stuff that's not even there. That's what I think.
Let's talk about Murder Changed Me. Let's talk Murder Changed Me, where you had a chance to link up with other mothers. The mothers of Atuka. You know what I mean? The mothers of FBG Duck, the mothers of Mo3. Who else was there? Am I missing I'm missing somebody? Is there one more artist?
Four of us.
Okay, it was just y'all. Tell me about how this whole thing came together with the Murder Changed Me project. How did you get with the other mothers? Piece this together for us, how this all came about.
Well, actually, I was on the phone with the publicist of that guy, and so
of Charleston White. I want to make sure everybody can follow us.
I said that his name is Charlene because no man is acting like that, so I can't even give him the name of that. He's Charlene to me, but basically, Charlene. We were having a conversation, me and his publicist, and we were just kind of brainstorming, me not thinking that a event is going to be put together. We were just speaking about life. And I said, Murder Changed Me will be a good thing because murder can change a lot of people. The victim, the person that, actually killed someone, I said their loved ones, and even with the publicist, she had lost a loved one to murder. So murder changes a lot of people. So when I said that, we had a discussion, a 3-way call was made. Charlene got on the phone, and so went from there of just sharing the idea of this, and then it came back within a week or so, and it was like, there's going to be an event, we want you guys to come and speak. We're going to get this mother, that mother, this mother.
I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. When you first ever, you said the publicist put you on the phone with Charleston White, and did you know who he was at the time? And did you have any idea who Charleston White was?
Yeah, I met him around the end of March, I want to say. Okay. He was up at Real Street Stars.
Salute to Real Life Street Stars.
With Mama Duck. And see, I've met Mama Duck one time before in an event in Chicago. And so once they, let her know something, they like pull up. So I pull up and I meet Charleston that particular night. That's actually the night the first podcast happened. We were just kind of running it, and they like, you guys want to sit down and do a podcast? Why not? Especially, people have to understand, when I met Charleston, I didn't meet the Charleston who the internet sees. Because of course, why would I attach myself to someone who I met that's already this way? I had no knowledge of his background or anything of that nature. I just knew he was speaking positive things about a journey that I'm on. Yeah. So I relate. So I was willing to, have conversations, and then we exchanged numbers that night. He ended up calling me, and he just basically wanted to meet up to see what I'm doing, what journey I'm on, what I'm doing, what events I'm doing, and to see where he could help. Because he told me he felt like it was God's way of allowing him to do give a redemption based on.
Did you feel like that? Did you feel like he was sincere at the time? Did the nigga come off like he was sincere?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, so
Like I said, it was
Charleston.
very mature, very educated conversation. It was
Okay,
no, good spirit. It was never nothing negative when we met up.
okay, okay. So y'all start putting this project together. Where does things get shaky? You know what I mean? Because recently we seen Charleston White come out and he say that he tried working with the mothers. Charleston said, I tried to work with them, but first he went into a thing about that y'all were using him for money. That he was giving y'all money for different things. Y'all would call him, he'd give y'all just little money here and there, just looking out for y'all whenever y'all need some. Then he went to a rant where he screamed out F Lil Snupe. You know what I mean? F FBG Duck, F Mo 3, then he went to the mothers, F all they mamas, and, they the reasons why they sons are dead because they wasn't good mothers.
Right.
When you hear things like that come from that same sincere, educated, sincere brother who you met, how do you feel now seeing him, say all this now?
Well, of course it's tacky, you know what I'm saying? And it's disrespectful, distasteful. But because what I've learned and detached myself from, I'm not surprised. Like, what leaves me out? He's been doing this for months, and that's one of the reasons why I stepped away is because of the behavior. Like, I don't agree with that kind of stuff. Like, I don't feel like he should be talking about anybody. So it was a matter of time, I would say, because the truth was going to come out. I think the mother situation was his last crutch as far as positivity, because everything is chaotic, right? So at least I can say, well, I'm working with these mothers on a positive note. But it was irritating to me because I just seen Charleston 2 weeks ago. Charleston just hugged me and called and was like, hey, mama, So I know that you respect me enough because you calling me mama. I mean, you're older than me, so really you're...
Yeah, he about 52.
Yeah, he's my elder at this point. So
yeah, okay, yeah.
Respect me enough, and I share with him face to face, like, because a video he did 3 weeks ago, he shared working with the mothers, and I'm like, I hadn't even talked to him until maybe a couple days after the event.
Okay. So hold on. So you mean to tell me that he did it was a video that came out that said he was working with the mothers, but this time you've already cut your tie. You've already cut all lines of of communications with him about the project and what you were doing with the murder chain situation.
Yeah, I just haven't. The thing about it is, it was more so like we just hadn't heard nothing.
Yeah.
I hadn't talked to anyone. He didn't want. I found out now. I'm finding out that he's been discussing me and telling people to stay away from me. I'm not sure why, but I didn't know what had happened. I just knew that nothing was going on with it. But see, this is the thing. When we agreed to, because I can only speak for myself. When I agreed to do this, I'm thinking this is just an event we're gonna do. It's gonna possibly come out on a YouTube link. Yeah. I'm not knowing that they're trying to create a documentary or move forward until a conversation was had about how great and successful it was. And they were saying that people were tuning in, wanting to bring us to different events to do the same type of thing.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me when you showed up and you met all the mothers, was Charles, was he already filming? Was it like was y'all being filmed the first time y'all met up?
Well, we were filmed once, the event started.
Okay.
We got on
at this time, do Charleston know it's gonna be a documentary? Or you feel like he didn't even know? Did he already know? He already had this cooked up that I'm gonna make a documentary. They really don't know yet, or was this something y'all discussed already?
It wasn't discussed, and I can't say that I thought that then. But now I look back at it, I'm like, he must have already had his little move, and maybe that's why he's so angry. Because I don't understand why he's so angry if he's displaying actions, and I'm saying, hey, due to your actions, I don't want me or my son's name attached to that. As grown people, we should be able to go our separate ways without any confrontation. But like I stated, I feel like because he was using us anyway, now he's upset, and now we're the weak's attack.
Tell me this: what was it that you seen? Because you said at first, I want to ask you this too. You said you really didn't know about him, so you didn't know about the, he had a statement he put out where he was saying, he feel like, some women, deserve to be raped. He was saying statements about, the F King Von, the F Nipsey Hussle. Did you know anything about any of these things really? When you first ever, put Lil Snoop, legacy, in his hands as far as this project goes. Did you know about any of those things?
I did not, and that's where I take accountability for, because you're good at doing my own research, but I just didn't even. Like I said, based on the conversation, I didn't feel like he had a reason to lie. And if I'm talking to someone, because what got me was him telling me that he had killed someone before.
And
the fact that he wanted to give back and to help, change lives of people, murders of the mind of murderers. I'm like, wow, that has to be nobody but God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why
And,
it was attractive to me of the situation. So I didn't even think until when we right before the event, we all went. I think it was, people could see the footage. We were on the pool rooftop or what have
yeah.
you, and one of the comments said something like, "Were these ladies okay?" Because he's known to touch and feel, and the went on, and I'm like, "What are they talking
Yeah.
about?"
Yeah. He say that's his thing. He say back in the day, he used to, he say he brought a coworker home from work, I think one day or something. He say she wouldn't give it to him. He took it. You feel me? These are his words. This is nothing that nobody's creating. We only know these things because he looked into a camera and told us. You feel me? So yeah, nobody's here to bash Charleston White. Everything we talking about is things that Charleston White said, not me, not you. These are Charleston White statements. Charleston White stated that Meek Mill, nobody was looking out for Lil Snupe or his legacy but him. Within the recent past time. How do you feel about Charleston White just taking credit for this whole project and saying that this was something that he was working with y'all on, and this was, he was doing this to help y'all sons, but now today he done, just completely done turned into a maniac on the internet, going in, dissing everybody. He done cussed out everybody. I heard he done lost almost every situation he had going on out there. Now he falling like Kanye right now. You know what I mean? The boy got to say something every day. What did you think about when he went at T.I. and Boosie's son? How did you feel when you seen that going on? How did you feel about that? Just being a mother,
First of all, you got to know ain't nobody playing about their kids. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first thing. He's a father, so he should already know that. But like, again, you have to kind of know what you're dealing with. This is what he do. So, I mean, I'm just grateful I'm disciplined enough that I even receive it the way he's trying to put it out there. First of all, he's telling a lie. Like, he can't speak what he did for another mother. And I'm not going to say that he hasn't. I remember when Snoop's birthday was going on, he knew that there was some things going on with the mayor, and it was some stuff they were giving me a hard time. Now, he did go live and, speak out to the people, whatever, and put my cat out. He has had a good heart as that before. It's calling him, asking him for money. If he's taking care of me, then I wouldn't be sleepy in the morning, getting up, going to work,
Okay, so have you ever reached out to Charleston White, be like, hey, I need a few dollars, can you send me 1,000, 1,500, 500? Have you ever reached out to Charleston White for some gas money, some food money? Because that's what he said. He said he felt like a trick. He said, man, them women was using me. He said they're using their dead sons for clout. He said he said they want money from me, because of the fact that their sons have died. You know what I mean? So was any of that true? Have you ever reached out to Charleston White, asking for some gas money, asking for some rent money?
Denisha did not.
Yeah.
I stated I did not. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, with myself, I stand up for me. And what I did share with his publicist is when we done the event. Okay, he flew out 2 of the mothers from out of town, and then me and my 3 mom were here in Dallas, and so he didn't have to spend that money as far as a hotel or a flight. However, there were interviews done, and I told him, if you're doing an event, I just felt like that me and my 3 mama kind of got the worst end of the stick, because if it's this is the event, it should have been interviews across the board, not what you want to do. But now I'm finding out that he was paid his own self, so that's why he was so adamant about getting these events and getting these interviews, because he was making something off of it as well.
Okay.
What I told him, he was like, well, I got you guys a facial and a massage, but that's like typical stuff that I do for myself on a regular, right? So I told him, I said, well, I'm grateful for that, don't get it twisted. I just feel like we should have got some type of love token or something, just for appreciation for participating, especially when that's a hard topic to speak about. So he was like, well, I ain't nobody giving out money like that, whatever. So I understood where you're coming from, and I felt some type of way, but I had to keep in mind, what did you do this for? You did it for a purpose, so don't worry about not getting paid for this one. You did it off the love, let it be what it's going to be. But I did have to share how I felt, and so his publicist called him on 3-way once I was sharing with her, like, look, this not right. This not how they're supposed to go. Me and my 3 mama should have got blessed on some type of token just for appreciation. Well, then the next morning after the conversation, Charleston texted me and said, what's your Cash App? Immediately I sent it to him. He sent me $200 right after the event, but he told his publicist, from my understanding, he sent me 1,000. I'm like, 1,000?
Nigga, about 800 show, huh? About 800 show.
I was like, $200. I said, and what is his Cash App? I said, send it to me so I can send him that back for lunch money or something, because I don't want him to feel like you've done something And when I haven't seen the video that he's putting out, so I don't care to even hear his voice.
Yeah.
But he's definitely lying. Like, if anybody know my track record, I've been out here since day one. Like, I've had to make some of the moves that Snoop had to make just to get stuff done. That's why I was able to put a documentary together, different things like that, because I was out here footworking. I've been speaking on panels, you know, but what I realized is I wasn't healed enough. So I did back up from speaking as much because I didn't want to break. Because tell me this, how can a mother say, well, you know, she's inspiring me, but look at her up here breaking herself. Like, I wanted to heal a little bit more before I got out there. So just as if I'm on here with you on this platform speaking, that's all that event was. That wasn't like, this was no long-term contract. I haven't signed anything with him. We not business partners under no, you know, circumstance. He what he did was tacky. And so when I identified and started hearing about it, did you hear what Charleston said today? I'm like, what is he saying? So I have taken the time to kind of look at a couple things. You can't even get through a whole video with him if you got a heart. You know, so I needed to be known, like, just because you see me on a platform like with Mama Doug, that don't mean I'm with the F King Von movement or anything like that. I have nothing to do with no beef with nobody. My heart goes out to these parents. Yeah. Especially the mothers, because I can relate. So when it comes to beef, drama, messiness, I don't associate myself with that. And that's why we here, because I told Charleston I didn't want to work with him. He was still lying on me. And so I also then had to send a message, like, if you talk to him, because I tried to call him myself on Sunday and his phone went to voicemail. Yeah. So when the message got to him, from my understanding, his response was like, he went straight into a tantrum at the time, right then. Yeah. So you're upset because you can only hold on for that lie for so long, and you kind of forced my hand to speak on, I'm not working with you, right? Because I asked you one-on-one to stop saying it. You could have let it be, and we could have left it alone. But see, you've been lying so long, I think he got to have something to talk about. Any person that's on social media day in and day out, he's not getting no money for his views. He's excited about views. He's become a clout fiend at this point. Yeah. So I can't take him serious, and that's why I'm not upset. Like, what he's doing come with the territory of me being a leader. Yeah. So I'm not even, you know, I know he's lying on me. He's not the first person to lie on me, and what he does is not going to stop what I have going on at all. So.
Tell me this. Charleston White, he brags about never burying nobody before. You know, he always, you know what I mean, speaks about how, you know, the rest of you people have to bury y'all dead sons, dead partners. Do you feel like, you know, deep down inside, we also seen him speak on Trayvon Martin. You know, he said F Trayvon Martin, mama. You know, Trayvon Martin with no gangster. Trayvon Martin got to do with no rap music, nothing to do with no gangster, nothing, no, none of that. Trayvon Martin was killed by a racist dude who followed him home. Do you feel like Charleston White ever cared about the youth or the young black rappers? Or do you feel like, you know, the young men who passed away? Or do you feel like this was all a money play? Do you feel like this was just a way to try to make himself look like some kind of activist? And, you know, was this a play Charleston White was running?
When it comes to this mother movement, I feel like it is. I can't speak about the past. But when it comes to the mother movement, now that I'm seeing how it's self-explanatory. There's no way he was sincere, because if 3 weeks ago you were speaking that you working with us, or you have worked with us, and then you the one that was silent, why are we here? Why are you bashing me now? Why are you speaking about my son who you praised once? Because he didn't even know about Snoop until the situation would happen last year with, you know, we discussed with his sperm donor when he was doing what he doing. You spoke on how tacky that was, but then you turn right back around and do the same thing that he did. So it's like, I can't take him serious on no level, and I'll be playing myself if I felt any kind of way, but that's just him. You know, like, yes, it's disrespectful, but I will pay Charleston White to tell me F my son in my face. He's not going to do that. So why am I going to get upset about a character? That man, I think he went from being in character online, and now he kind of got his wires crossed that he don't even know not to be in character. He's like, for the first time when I seen him 2 weeks ago, I realized, like, you even in character off camera now, and that's dangerous. Yeah. So you feel like this is an act, but the act now done kind of spilt over into, you know what I mean? The act done kind of, or is this nigga just crazy? Or, you know, he just got some screws loose? He's just crazy, because the thing is this: actors get paid. He's not getting paid. Like I said, his YouTube videos, he's not getting paid for them. So if you doing it for free, doesn't that describe a mental patient? I mean, if he's stating, okay, well, if they were better mothers, then, you know, their kids would be alive. What are you saying about your mom right now while you displaying these type of actions as a 50-year-old man? What are you saying about your own mom? So you really don't have room. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like watching a movie. Like, I don't want people to take this serious, because You can't take nothing that he does serious. He's spending what 13 hours online in front of a
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, you
That's a
going live. Your boy going live every few hours. Every few hours, boy going live.
like I don't have time for that. I have really things that I got going on. So I haven't watched his video, what he had to say about me. People that love me know not to send me that stuff. Like they know that I don't want that in my atmosphere. I've been encouraging the other mothers, like if you want to speak, get your lies straightened out or what have you. But for as bashing him, then I will become him, and that's what I'm not going to allow him to do, because I really am on a real journey, and I didn't get this far by social media. Like God got me here, so that does not move me in no type of way. Like you don't even know my son. Like I said, and everything that you told me about him was great things. So why are you bashing him now?
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I most definitely think Charleston White is a character. You know what I mean? A character online. I don't think that shit is. I don't think that's what that is outside in real life. I think that's a online character. Yeah, I don't think the nigga like that outside. But
he not. And it's so crazy because when I seen him a couple weeks ago, I thought to myself, wow, he's lost more weight than I haven't seen him since the event, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's just not looking all that healthy right now. So I think
hold on. Rainwater said that the man might be, Rainwater came out and said that, he thought that Charleston White had told him that he was sick and he was on medication that he hadn't been taking. And Rain was saying he was sick. You mean to tell me when you seen Charleston White, he kind of looked not too healthy?
He just looked smaller than he was in June.
That's interesting.
I said, you know how you kind of see somebody, you like, in reality, you can't, if anybody Charleston, they'll be so wrong for that because he's like 96 pounds wet. That's not even nobody you would even do that to, because how
you're right.
That's like jumping on a kid. Like,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Ain't no pride in whooping no nigga like that. You're right. And you don't get no strikes for that.
You can't even get, like, I'm not even gonna let that man make me mad, like, because I know one thing, you really not living like that, and you really don't know me, and you really don't know my kids. So, and I know that you really don't have the money that you claim you have. I know. Yeah. So I'm like, where'd you get the money to take care of me when you don't have money to take care of you?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Nah, like I said, it's a shame that, as black people, that we can't, come together and really, do something for, young men who were doing something great with their life. And we all got to pass. That's one thing, but we all got to pass. I got to pass. Charleston White got to pass. We all at one point in time, you got to pass. We all at one point in time was young and dumb. You know what I mean? So, for you to diss the young brothers who passed away just because they wasn't as lucky as we was to make it, to your 30s, to your 40s, there's no way you will ever catch me, saying something negative or something bad about them. I want to say rest in peace to all them young brothers. Mo 3, Lil Snupe, King Von, Nipsey Hussle, PNB Rock, Pop Smoke, to all the young brothers. FBG Duck,
L.A. Capone.
Yeah, L.A. Capone, Tuka. I want to say rest in peace to all them young brothers. That most definitely, hits a spot in my heart too. I loved hip hop my whole life. I've always been into the entertainment business. I watched a lot of them young brothers come up. I remember the first time I seen them, and to see them all gone now, a lot of them brothers gone, especially, being right here in Dallas with Mo 3. That was a young brother I had a chance to see him do his thing and rap and watch them come up. So yeah, it's real heartbreaking to see y'all mothers, y'all beautiful women, have to go through life and carry, just carry that hole in your heart, before it happened to your child. We all our dream is for our kids to bury us.
That's right. And what's so tacky about the situation is the fact that, like I stated, when this event occurred, Snoop death date was 4 days prior. So his birthday was a week before that. My mind space was all over, and I debated about coming. I kept saying, I want to go, and I'm not going to go. Yeah. And I'm like, I always get a test around Snoop's death day. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And the fact that we sat there, each parent and each mother, and we really tapped into our trauma, and expressed ourselves and cried real tears and comfort each other in front of people was new. First of all, to some of the mothers, and for it to be taken out of content, and just because a person's behavior is being displayed, and we saying, hey, that's not what we represent, or that's not what I represent. I want no parts of this. Now we have to have beef. Why, as adults, we can't go our separate ways? Why does it have to be attacked? But see what it is, like I stated, the mother's situation with him was like the last crutch for the positivity. And then he was like, oh, the murder changed me as my event. He didn't create that event. Actually, those of us that still want to participate, we're going to still put it out. I have the footage of the whole event. It's copywritten now, so
Yeah.
he can't do what he claimed. All this rough, and actions are gonna speak louder than words. So like I said, I'm not here to tongue wrestle with Charlene. I'm not gonna tongue wrestle with him. Um, Once I'm gonna speak on this. I know he is lying on me. I can't stop him from lying on me. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have another video, and those who choose to participate in watching it, that's on them. I'm not corrupting my soul with that negativity. I really have a legacy that I'm living. I'm building an empire so that people can know who Denisha is after, I leave. Like, okay, yes, my son was amazing, but I'm amazing as well. And so I know that God chose me to be a leader and a vessel for these mothers. And that's what I'm planning on doing. And it didn't start with him. This event didn't start. I wasn't being introduced to the world through this event. I decided to participate because it was familiar to things I already been doing.
Yeah. Now, what I want to say, like I said, my condolences go out to you. June 20th is the 10-year anniversary, of you losing Snoop. I want to say Snoop's story is dope. To talk to me about the documentary. It was a documentary that y'all was working on. Talk to me about that.
Man. Because I know everybody at my top, like, where the doc at? Where the doc? But
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, I've done my footwork, so it was kind of out of my hands. But we did just have a meeting the other day. I have a release date I'm about to get ready to announce within a week or two. So I'm excited about that. 10 years. Whew.
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. You said it seemed like it was just yesterday.
It does. And I'm going to say that, like, I'm about to just go so hard for Snoop for this 10th year anniversary. I plan on doing something real big. Again, I've already stated I will never do another celebration in his hometown. It's just too much division there. And Snoop is known worldwide, so I don't have to, right? So for the 10 year, like, I'm really trying to put a great event together and just, making sure that people still know. Because, again, this is 9 years and he's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's bad press, he's still, like, relevant right now. And I'm nothing but grateful for that. Like, my son's still popping. And he's known to be inspiring. He's not known to be anything but an inspiring person. He's known for his freestyle talent. He's known for giving people, motivation. So I'm proud of that. And I stand on that. So, of course, I was going to say something about you speaking ill on my son's name. When really you're upset, Charlene is upset because don't speak on his name. Don't connect yourself with me. I don't work with you. What do you do that I can gain from? Like, what kind of work when he say, "Oh, I didn't want to work with somebody"? What do you do, sir? You work for YouTube for free.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Maybe he need a job or something. Maybe somebody can hire him because he's not making no money. And so when people that are hurt, they tend to lash out right now. So I would hope that somebody would share with his mom what he's doing as far as attacking families and probably get him in some counseling. That's what I would say.
Yeah. It's been a lot of things that came out about him lately. A lot of people I'm hearing to stop working with him. I'm hearing a lot of different things that later on we're gonna hear about Charleston White. He been doing a lot online. I hear that it might be a few things that he have to answer to in a little bit. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's dirty in the streets of this media. Yeah, but I want to go ahead.
I was going to say, like, God don't play about me. So the best thing that I've learned about fighting a battle is not to get in the ring. This not my battle. I don't care.
Yeah.
If God can give me peace to where I don't think about my son's murder, who is Charlene?
Salute. No, that's real talk, y'all. Mama Snoop. I I gotta most definitely thank you for sliding through the beautiful Mama Snoop.
Thank
you. You looking good. Yeah, You don't look like what you've been through.
I thank God for that. Yes.
Yeah. Real talk. So I want to thank you for pulling up. The legacy of your son lives on. The 10-year anniversary is coming up. You say, where are you gonna do? Do you know where you're gonna do the celebration at?
Well, I had a couple of ideas. I'm thinking if not Dallas, probably Atlanta. I really want something for Snoop in Philly. Like, I really want to do something for Snoop in Philly because they love him over there, and and so I just want to kind of touch bases on things that were sentimental to us. And him taking a bus for 36 hours, you got to just know as a 17-year-old child what that was like for him by himself. Yeah. So I really don't know exactly, but what I do know is that for his 10th year, we're going to be celebrating and dropping a bunch of things. I'm still working on my book. And now that I have a release date with a documentary, I'm kind of grateful for that. And just keep pushing with the mother movement. Like I said, I'm going to be working with other mothers. And we just trying to get a peace.
Yeah.
Just giving mothers, because it's people dying every day. It's children dying every single day, and so somebody has to stand in the gap. So I don't have time to focus on the negativity because I'm on an assignment right now,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like if getting to heaven is the only way I'm gonna be able to see my son again, I'll be damned if I let anybody get in the way.
I like that. That's real. I like that.
Out there. So that's why I'm not here to bash him. I mean, he's hurt evidently, and if he's just in character, then he's just in character. But I'm not here to beef with him. I don't have an ill will feeling. But at the same time, I gotta stand up for myself. You're not finna bully me, little man. You're not finna bully me with your negativity mess. Like, I pray that he heals, and I pray, because like I said, next week it's gonna be somebody else. So
yeah, I don't know what kind of character that is.
Popping though. Yeah. Popping pretty tough right now though.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of character that is. Suicide man. I don't know what we call him. I don't know what we call it. But like I said, with all the mothers who lost sons, I don't take that for a joke. Like I said, my condolences go out to y'all. I have 2 children myself. God forbid that I was ever in that situation. That's why I take it so serious right now, because like what Charleston White don't know, you got children yourself, homie. That boomerang in life, man. You have, So yeah, and I don't want to see nobody get hurt. Let's get that straight. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. But at the same time, to get online and in 1 minute praise these women, and then you tearing them down, that's a bad look on your character, dog. That's a bad look, man. Rest in peace to Lil Snupe. Like I said, his legacy always continue. Everybody go run Lil Snoop up. Go watch all his videos. Go run all his music up on every website. Let his legacy always continue to live. Let's spread number positive about this young man. Because like you said, this was hip hop. This is a hip hop story here. Lil Snoop be the movie.
See, that's the thing. Like, what my ideas is, like, the level of what I want to do before I leave here for my baby, it's beyond, like, sky is the limit, right? Yeah. And the thing about it is, I'm not gonna stop until it happens. So definitely, a documentary first, right?
Yeah.
And working on getting a movie. So I have some great things coming up, and God is actually connecting me to some good people who I know that ain't on no ill will. But what I will say this time, I have to be more careful on who I allow in my circle. I have to take full responsibility for allowing this situation to happen, because I should have gotten more educated. And I realize I can't just give myself to people because we share the same type of passion, right? Yeah. I know that there's some snakes, there's some Judas coming along. Yeah. So I take this lick. This is my lick, right? Yeah. But it won't happen again.
No, that's real. Tell me this. So the project's still going on. Murder Changed Me. It's still going on.
We definitely are still talking about it. Like I said, I can't make anyone want to do anything, because once they start seeing what he was on, everybody was like, I don't want my footage in there. I don't want my footage. So if you don't have anybody that want their footage, that means there's nothing to put out, right? Yeah. But I wouldn't care if it was put on YouTube for free, because it was such a great event.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to, like, we just not gonna put it out. It was such a great event, and shout out to Rainwater for putting majority of everything together.
Salute to Rain.
With that event, he paid for a lot of things. That was my first time actually face to face. I've seen Rainwater at different events, but I never officially met him. So at the event, I got a chance to meet him, and ever since I've met him, I haven't had any ill will. He's been, everything he said he was gonna do, he's done. So if everybody is still on one accord, then like I said, it's been copywritten at this point. I have the footage of the whole event, and so we can still put it out. But like I said, I'm not here for monetary gains with that, which I remember that was Charleston's first idea, was about money. We were on a 3-way call, and he asked Rainwater, how are we going to monetize off of this?
Yeah.
And, Rainwater said, well, I'm not worried about monetizing off of this. I just want to get the message out. So if that's what we still are on, I'm not messed up about no Netflix deal or nothing else. I want the message to be put out, because it was a great event, and there were some great people that participated in this event.
Yeah. But you said financial wise, Rainwater was the one who was doing, as far as you knew, that was paying for things and helping out and getting everything on board financially.
I believe that both. I can't really say who spent what on what, but I do know that when they posted about it, it was like Charleston White put an event together. Rainwater wasn't included, and that wasn't right, because he was very much involved.
Okay.
You shouldn't exclude him. I think it was a team effort. So don't leave one out and give the other one praise, because that's not how that went.
No, that's real. I can't wait to see what you do with the documentary. I can't wait to see, what happens with you and the rest of the mother, going on. FBG Duck Mama, Tuka Mama, Nicole Noble, Mo3 Mom. I can't wait to see what y'all do. Like I said, just say no to Sko and the Sko gang. We most definitely here for y'all. Any project you putting out, we not looking for no money. We just want to support Lil Snoop, Mo3, FBG Duck. We do it for hip hop. You feel? We do it for the gang. We not here looking for no handouts, no nothing. We do charity events. We raise money. We do the same thing, but we don't want nothing. You feel me? Right. I just want to do something good. You feel me? There's other ways to get your money, but when it comes to helping people of people who lost their life, there's not a time for me to try to say, I'm going to stack my bread. If it's a good hustle, a good lick. That's not what I'm in it for. I'm not in it for that. So I most definitely look to working with you and, later on in the future, linking up with you, helping out, sponsoring, doing any kind of promo, you or Nicole, because like I said, salute to Mo3 Mama. She most definitely is, an angel. I've been to that cemetery with her. She real.
Beautiful. Her spirit is so beautiful. But like I said, that whole day, we just enjoyed each other. We had great conversations. We went and got a daiquiri. Like, we just really had a whole vibe going. What I did want to share with you is I want to help someone for Thanksgiving. Holiday is very, very hard for me. So I just want to get with you and possibly if you can promote that on your channel. And I would, donate $100 to whatever family that you know in need, that
there we go.
May not be able to have a Thanksgiving dinner or whatever have you, may not have family. I would like to get that together. So if you can connect with me so that we can bless of someone's family this, Thanksgiving. I want to bless a family with $100 on behalf of Lil Snoop and his foundation.
Most definitely. Hey, I most definitely want to get with you and do that. And we're going to, I do live streams too. So we're going to most definitely talk about that also in my live streams. Okay. We're going to promote that on Instagram, on my channel. So Lil Snoop does have his own foundation.
He does have his foundation, and then I work for the mothers. Like I said, I have 2 lanes, right? Mm-hmm. I have 2 lanes. I have to keep my son's legacy alive while developing my own lane. I don't have time for negative stuff.
And salute to you, beautiful. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up to the show. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like I said, rest in peace, Lil Snoop. You said everything you could say. I think you kept it real classy too. I think, I think you kept it real classy. So what you call him, Charlene? That there it is. There it is. Now, thank you so much. Salute to you for pulling up. Thank you so much.
Salute, y'all.